I titled the project Black Box. In aviation, the black box operates continuous, recording flight data and sounds. It is sturdy and heat-resistant, capable of preserving the truth even in an accident. Its significance laid in the post-event decoding. Only by being reviewed and analyzed can we possibly piece together the full picture of the event. I simulated an air crash that has yet to be investigated. No cause, no report, only scattered clues left behind. It unfolded not in the real sky, but within an airspace of language, image, and emotions. The audience step in as investigators, decoding and piecing together the sequence. The investigation does not promise truth. It is a journey through fragments and voids. In my project, the black box became a metaphor. This project does not resolve the tensions of language and culture, but preserved a place for ambiguity. The project unfolds in 3 layers. The zine captured the raw voice of language in claps. Immediate, fragmented, emotional, like raw evidence salvaged from a crash site. The eyewitness photo presents a visual narrative of flight. The wooden installation and video simulate and reenact the investigation process of the air crash, with balloons queuing up, waiting, and boarding at the airport, becoming both a surrogate for the individual and a projection field for the blank subject. Together, these 3 layers form the logic of my project. To understand the first layers of the black box, I began with the zine. It functions like a raw voice record of a crash site, unprocessed, exposing the moment of language itself. Here, the narrative unfolds in 3 phases: takeoff, suspension, and crash. This reflects not only the trajectory of flight, but also the life cycle of expression. The balloons become a metaphor of language, air as voice, its form shaped by breath, it's always bound by a fragile shell. Speaking of painting method, I work in with collage. I first draw visual elements, then cutting and rearranging them. Collage does not aim for a complete narrative, but responds to a liminal stage of ambiguity. Shapes and signs act like vocabulary, reassembled into a visual rhythm and grammar. They are not entirely legible, yet they hint at structure, both design and accidental. I choose to print the first draft as a spiral-bound zine. Only through real page turning can I sense the rhythm of narrative and image. I brought this first draft to my supervisor Geoff to read together. In conversation with him, I then reflect on how the work might balance ambiguity and readability. We agreed ambiguity should remain, but with signposts that guide the audience gradually into the story. So I adjust several aspects, shifting the background to mental with caution lines, structuring dialogue from clarity to distortion, adding check-in and boarding sequences. The first part of the black box, the zine, captured a raw fragment of language. Next, the second part turned to the eyewitness photo of the flight. I wrote this story because suspension has always marked my cross-cultural experience. In train stations and airports, liminal spaces of transit, I sketch passing strangers. These drawings became both visual notes and the trains of my outsider presence, silent act of witnessing. Extending these sketches, I scanned and collaged them into my illustrations, creating a transient crowd. After observing these crowds, I returned the narrative focus to the balloons. The balloons are the serious protagonists, yet I hide them in the visuals, leaving blank spaces. This creates mystery. Viewers wondered what the absence means, while inviting them to imagine and step into the story themselves. In this section, I use cueing themes to convey a narrative of silence. These visual strategies reflect my cross-cultural experience. In foreign countries, we often wait, observe, and strive to prove ourselves. Following the narrative exploration, the project entered its 3rd part, the wooden installation and video. Just as investigators piece together clues from a black box, viewer navigates the wooden stage, observing and connecting fragments to reconstructing the narrative. Through repeated reenactment and dislocation, language transforms from a mere communication tool into a performance that is observed, rehearsed, and interrogated.